mentioned earlier on in the week there were unruly and angry scenes outside the Dáil on Tuesday night last, when some of those on a public march protesting the government's bank bailout attempted to break through Garda lines and enter Dáil Éireann. Batons were drawn by the Gardaí and a number of people were injured. This is the TV3 footage of some of those who were at that protest that night. There were fairly dramatic television pictures for anyone who saw them, and there's been widespread condemnation of those few, apparently, protesters who attempted to break through Garda lines and provoke such a confrontation. But our next guest says they were fully entitled to do what they did, and indeed he wants another protest. Well, there is a protest again happening this weekend in response to Tuesday night's incident. On the line now is Brian Leeson, who's chairperson of the Eire Group. Good morning to you, Brian.
Morning, lad. How are you?
Thanks for joining us. Fully justified, you say, everything that happened?
Well, I'll just clarify what did happen. Basically, the march that had been organised was supported by the Unite trade union. So, I mean, it was and a number of different community groups, as well as a number of political parties. It arrived up at Leinster House. The crowd was moving around the flatbed lorry that was being used as a platform for the speakers. And as the crowd was moving around, they were moving around towards the back of the flatbed. The gates of Leinster House were behind the crowd, and the gates of Leinster House were open, and there was nobody at the gates. There was no Gardaí at the gates. And at that point, a group of it was probably somewhere greater than 50, I would estimate, made its way towards the gates. Now, I wasn't actually, I was at the other side of the crowd, but I've spoken to a number of Eire members who were at that side, plus other people who were on that side of the crowd. And it appears there was a fairly spontaneous sort of move into the car park in Leinster House. Now, speaking to people, I don't think there was a real plan. There certainly was no violent intent. I think what people were thinking.
But Brian, when you say a spontaneous move, you mean a charge? Isn't that what you mean?
No, there was no charge. There was no charge. I mean, people literally. I mean, the distance you're talking about here, Niall, is the width of a footpath. That's what you're talking about. That people will be familiar who've been outside of Leinster House. That the crowd was on the road in front of Leinster House, and the distance from the edge of where the crowd was to the gates was the width of the footpath, not much more than that. So, as I say, a group of people started moving in that direction. In fact, a lot of the crowd started moving in that direction. And there was no, I mean, there's been a lot of sensationalist media coverage of this, as if there was some attempt to storm or storm Leinster House. There was nothing of the sort. There was television pictures, Brian, would suggest otherwise. There were let me continue. What happened was, as people were moving, obviously, towards into the car park, and I mean, I've spoken to people, there was no premeditated plan here. I think people saw an opportunity and thought, let's go in here, sit down, protest, something along those lines, I imagine was the intent. Now, the Gardaí were caught napping, and what happened was guards started running from all around to try and stop people getting through, and they actually kind of, as they came charging across the car park, and there was a couple of guards at the other gates, and attempted to form a line-up. And very quickly, the senior guard on the scene drew his baton and instructed the other Gardaí to draw their batons. And at that point then, as people started getting struck with batons, there was more pushing and shoving. And yeah, there was certainly, I mean, it's there for people to see on television. It was an ugly enough sort of a scene there. But, it was, 60 seconds of a scuffle. You were speaking outside. You said you were speaking from the back of a truck or whatever. No, I wasn't speaking from the truck. Not you, but speakers
right, but why could you not just have your protest outside the Dáil? Why did you see the need to go through the gates of the Dáil?
Well, let's say, I mean, there wasn't. What I'm saying is that the people that were in that area, and of course, each of them has probably a different view or a different reason behind what they did, because there was no premeditated plan. People, I think, just spontaneously decided, a group of people took an opportunity, and others followed, as can happen in these situations when you have crowds on the street and people are rightly very angry at what's going on with NAMA and the bank bailouts and so on. And as they attempted to make their way through the gates, and the gates should never, from the Garda perspective, the gates should never have been left open. I've been at countless protests at the Leinster House, and it's very, very rare you see the gates open and unguarded.